Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Manarino, Sunday, July 28th, 2024. My newest segment of Markets to Look Ahead, people, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's just for a moment reflect on what you and I have done now for years. Well, quite frankly, we have been light years ahead of this market. We've called this freak show better than 90% across the board. I don't think there's a single person anywhere who has a better record than ours, and that's a fact. Anyway, so what I want to do is I want to cover a bunch of things here with you, but I want to start off with, look, we're getting pretty close to this presidential selection. Remember, there is not going to be an election. There hasn't been an election in quite a long time. This is a selection. You and I, we're just along for the ride here. But there is one entity which has accurately called who will be the next president, going back as far as you want to go. You can sit there and listen to this so-called oracle, that so-called oracle, this guy, this girl, whoever it might be. Again, it's all just, it's noise. We need to look at the number one predictor, bar none, period, the end. And people, I'm going to give you one guess as to what entity that may be. It's the market, in case you don't know. So we're going to cover what the market is saying right now. Could this change? Sure it could. But as of right now, well, I'm going to read this to you. This is in your inbox if you subscribe to my free newsletter. Link in the description of this video. I really urge you to subscribe to my newsletter. Look, I don't get anything out of it. It's free. So I do this for you. This is stuff just out of my head based on my observations of the one thing that I study morning, noon, and night, upside down, backwards, and sideways. Let me explain something else to you. This market, whatever it is, okay, which isn't really a market. It's just a freak show with the Federal Reserve and central banks running the entire theater across the board. But if we understand that, there is our strength. There is our power. And that's how you and I have been able to call this market better than 90%. 90% for years. I don't think there's, again, another person out here anywhere that's called this market like we have. And this market is telling us something right now, and we need to listen to get ourselves in the right spots. And I promise you, as I always do, if this changes, if I see something here in my quest to keep all of you ahead of the curve, I will let you know. I'll be the first guy to let you know. So anyway, like I said, I'm going to cover this, and I'm going to add through it as I read. So anyway, Trump-Harris, what is the market saying? Let's start off with this, people. The debt market is always right. On Wall Street, there is an old adage which goes like this. The debt market is always right. With that, and as of right now, the debt market is telling us that a Trump presidency is going to happen. So what actually is the debt market? I outlined this for you right here. The debt market is the largest aspect of the overall markets by exponents. It makes the stock market look like it almost doesn't exist. The debt market, also known as the bond or credit market, consists of fixed income securities, which includes bonds, notes, and bills. Pretty obvious stuff. Okay, now regarding the stock market, it is forward-looking. Keep that thought in mind here. What this means is the stock market prices in future events. Largely, and this is a no-brainer as well, the stock market is driven by speculation on what the most likely outcome moving forward is going to be. With that, and as an example, once the stock market prices in a particular event, and we see this time and time and time again, it is generally followed by what is known as a sell the news moment. Selling the news is simply profit taking as the market was pricing in the likely outcome. Are we on the same page so far? Okay. The stock markets of the world, the currency markets, real estate markets, etc., all derive value. They all derive value. Think about that word derive and keep that in your mind from what is happening in the debt market. Understanding that essentially every other market outside of the debt market itself, therefore, becomes a derivative, you got it? Of the debt market price action, which means markets, again, outside the debt market derive value from debt market action. What happens in the debt market has a ripple effect upon the price action of every other market. Let me ask you, why do you think that central banks around the world have decided to get into the debt markets and rig them? Because it's all rigged. And because of that, we're seeing the fallout or the ripple effect throughout every other market. We're also seeing this in inflationary environment around the world. It's all part of the same thing. So immediately after Biden dropped out of the presidential selection, the first thing that this guy looked at was the U.S. 10-year yield. Why the U.S. 10-year yield? Because the U.S. 10-year note is the benchmark. The next place I looked was the U.S. dollar index. Central bank issued currencies are also units of debt. You all know that. Now, for several weeks prior to the assassination attempt on Trump here, I was telling people that it looked to me as if Trump was going to win. Now, I based this upon not a gut feeling, not what I want to happen or what I not want to happen, what this oracle, that oracle saying, or anybody else. I based what I said on action that I was witnessing in the debt market. Again, you can go back as far as you want to go. The stock market or the market itself is the number one predictor of who will become the next president. Okay, so again, I based this solely on what I was personally observing in both the debt and currency markets. Now, immediately after Biden dropped out, the 10-year yield did not move. A Trump presidency was being baked into the cake already. Moreover, the relative dollar strength fell. On the following day, world stock markets put on gains, and Bitcoin also rallied. People, the mainstream media, okay, who's telling you they don't know, it's a big mystery, they're telling you this is a Trump trade. What does that tell you, okay? It's amazing. So but you have to understand there's a few dynamics here in play that I want to cover just real quick to give you a better perception and understanding of what's going on. So whomever is selected as the next figurehead / president regarding the market, two things will happen. It doesn't matter if the lovely Kamala or Trump is put behind the resolute desk. We will see two things occur. Number one, a further loss of dollar purchasing power. People, if you think I'm wrong on that one, again, you're in the wrong place. And maybe you need to go over and deeper into la la land. So that's number one. Number two, larger asset purchases by the Federal Reserve. Debt purchases to keep rates artificially suppressed. Now, there is a wild card here. And I've already told you what it is, but we'll cover it. So it's Bitcoin. Trump has repeatedly called himself the Bitcoin president. He has gone on to say that he will support the crypto space. We have more to talk about on that. Trump is a major positive for cryptocurrencies and especially Bitcoin. Again, he's referred to himself specifically as the Bitcoin president. So in the event, people, and you know what I'm about to tell you, that Trump is not selected, this would be a major short-term blow to crypto and Bitcoin in general. The entire crypto space would, I believe, not be happy, but this would be a short-term, in fact, I would say this, it's going to be a buying opportunity because the crypto space based on two factors. I don't make this stuff up either, people. It's not by a gut feeling of what I hope is going to happen. Everyone knows I own Bitcoin. It's my largest crypto holding, and I own about 6 other ones on top of Bitcoin. So it's not because I'm hoping my investments are going to pay off. I look at two things, and two things only. Market cap, the overall value of the crypto space, which is about the size of one Dow component right now. And then I look at how few people hold this stuff. So right there it should tell you something. If you have even one functioning brain cell, the amount of growth in this space is potentially almost astronomical. So further on the markets. Now I want you to keep this part in mind. And Greg Mannarino knows this. Believe me, I know this. The current price action distortions which currently exist in the world markets across the spectrum are a direct result of central bank manipulation of the world debt and currency markets. No brainer. We're on the same page here. Okay. This mechanism has gone far beyond anything which has ever been seen before. Now, people, with this stuff here, again, this is gold, in my opinion. It's free to all of you. Share this stuff. Get it out there. The more people we can get to understand the dynamics that are in play, the better off we're all going to be. Now, with regard to Trump here, he just attended the largest Bitcoin conference in history. So these are a couple of headlines that we're seeing here. So number one, Trump hails crypto at largest Bitcoin conference. He goes on to say he is proposing a strategic national crypto stockpile. Never sell your Bitcoin. Well, with that, of course, there's going to be a time to sell your Bitcoin. But it is so far off from now, no matter who is selected as the next lovely figurehead here. Now, with regard to this market, people, look, this Trump trade, it is going to turn out to be a sell the news moment. If Trump is selected, I think the market's going to fall. Again, it's going to be sell the news. It's all being priced in right now. Trump trade, Trump trade, Trump trade. Turn on CNBC, Bloomberg, Fox Business. They're all telling you what's going on here. But you and I, we're not concerned about that. What we're concerned about is risk. And this is the MMRI from this morning. Mannarino Market Risk Indicator. Free to you again. Link in the description of this video. This trend is what you and I have been calling would happen for I don't know how freaking long. What you're looking at here, okay, these aren't just squiggly lines on a page that are color-coded with a number. This is showing you in real time what the Fed is doing. This is asset purchases. This is the Fed buying more debt. Who's buying all this debt as of late? I mean, we've watched a pretty significant phenomenon with the entire yield curve now dropping. That's the Fed. They're putting hundreds of billions of dollars to work here, buying all the debt. This is also the dollar being devalued. And what did we just find out? Year over year, according to the Federal Reserve's favorite gauge, personal consumption expenditures, inflation has now risen 2.5% year over year. But you got the media out here telling you how inflation is coming down. They're using this as a deception against you. Imagine our shock. This is insane. Because by their own numbers, inflation continues to rise. But then they got the propaganda ministries, the CNBCs, the Bloomberg, the Fox Business, telling you inflation is cooling. Listen to the words. It's cooling. It's tame. It is neither of these. It continues to rise, and we haven't seen anything yet, regardless of Kaka Kamala or the Big T and his cohort here, Damian Thorne. I'm talking about Vance. Vance is Damian Thorne. So that's where we go. Now, with regard to the Federal Reserve, we just heard from them with regard to their beige book. This is how the Federal Reserve tracks economic activity. And they're admitting that 5 of the 12 districts report declining activity or flat economic activity. Let me explain this to you. It's every single district. They can't, if they're allowing us to say, well, it's just 5. It's every single one of them. Look, this economy is in free fall. The world economy, we are in a systemic meltdown. That's the truth. But you wouldn't know that by looking at the stock market. The illusion of the market is an incredibly powerful thing. And we're going to see more of this moving forward as the Trump trade is priced into the market. For my lions out here, I want to tell you something. Start keeping a little bit of powder dry. Yes, we are buying the dips. We are buying the dips we're buying the dips across the board. As long as this trend continues, the lower this goes, the more on sale commodities are going to be. None more so than Greg Mannarino's favorite asset in the history of the world. There's not a more undervalued asset. You want to know where value is? It's right here. Silver. Physical silver is it, period. Secondly, gold. All right. Then you got crude oil, commodities as well. And again, with all this from Trump here, for those of you that still don't get it, if the market's right and Trump is selected, do you really not want to have some Bitcoin in your portfolio? If you say no, then seriously, you are disconnected from reality at every level here. I don't care if you hate this stuff or you don't understand it. What's wrong with maybe having a little bit of this stuff in your portfolio? I'm not telling you to go all in on anything. Greg Mannarino was the most diversified investor that you're ever going to know of. You got to be diversified. You can be overweight a particular asset. In other words, owning more in what would be called a balanced portfolio. And with regard to a balanced portfolio here, there's always conjecture as to how you can define that. Okay, it used to be pretty straightforward. Not anymore in this environment today. If you had to be overweight one thing, I'm going to tell you what it is again, right there. Okay, but you need Bitcoin. You need Bitcoin in your portfolio. Again, there's the whole crypto space, but Trump keeps pointing at Bitcoin. And I think he's going to back up what he's saying if he's selected. The market so far, as I just covered for you people in this paper, is telling us right now who will be selected. Again, you can listen to whoever you want. This guy is listening to the number one predictor going back as far as you want to go in history, and that's been the market. So you guys and girls do what you want with regard to this information that I'm putting out here. All right, look, we covered a lot of stuff. I want to hear from you. Honestly, please do comment here. If you got something out of this video, you think people need to hear this stuff, I hope you back me up on this. I'm already getting shadow banned big time. It's kind of hard for people to find me now, but that's okay. Look, I don't even care about that. You're going to be here with me because you know that this is the place to go to get cutting edge, actionable information. I'm not just sitting here blabbing and blabbing and blabbing and blabbing. I'm giving you information that you can act on because I got your back. And you know that this guy has made promise after promise after promise after promise to all of you. I won't let you down. And we got this market by the balls, okay? Because honestly, look at our track record here. Better than 90%. I can't imagine even Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan is doing better than that. Anyway, people, that's pretty much it. All right. Love you, lot from the heart. I will see you all in the morning. So until we meet again, enjoy your weekend here, the rest, whatever's left of it here, and take care of yourselves and take care of each other, okay?